Welcome to my home. In this video, I'll show you around my desk setup. This is where I edit, manage my business, have a bit of fun, and just chill out as well. Today we'll get into everything from the design decisions and all the tech that makes this setup. Enjoy the episode. If you want to get right into the desk setup, feel free to follow the timestamps below. So this is my new home, a loft apartment with 2 bedrooms. Before moving in, I thought I'd make this room my office, but after living here for the last month, I completely scratched that plan and moved my desk setup into the main living space. We'll see how long I stick to that, but it'll be like this for a bit. And don't get me wrong, this room is nice, but I find myself spend more time in the main living area because it's just more ready. I mean, ideas start flowing in here, so why not cook those ideas in here as well? When it comes to planning the space, the approach I usually take is split my space into different sections. For this place, there's the kitchen/dining area, which I can't really change. And then I'll have a designated workspace, a TV entertainment area, and a lounge area where I just sit and think about life. So that is one large space broken into 4 different sections. Now the question you might be asking is, well, what do you need from your workspace? If you don't know me, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Baris, I'm a content creator, a YouTuber who makes lifestyle tech videos, and I have a passion for design. And as for tech and what actually ends up on my desk, I need accurate displays, fast computers, I mean, don't we all? As well as a charging and a storage station. And my desk setup currently holds all of those things together to an extent. But let's start with the desk itself. This is the desktop Revin Elite. I've been using this setup for over 6 months now, and what makes it special is the modular design that it has with the accessories you can use. Underneath the desktop, there's a rail system that lets you mount accessories without drilling into the tabletop itself. Like I'm using desktop's magnetic panels, separators as desk dividers, and you can also attach some magnetic accessories onto these as well. Now the walnut finish is nice, but I do want a smaller size for the tabletop itself, so I ordered a new tabletop in the oak finish, and it'll be a lot smaller. I do want a smaller setup here because this is also my living room as well, so that will be coming, but the setup itself will mostly remain the same. Now, the main engine of my entire desk setup is my M4 Max MacStudio right here. I've been meaning to do a review video on this thing, but I've just been pushing it. I really like this MacStudio. This is my main editing machine. I edit here, I design things and ideas here, and it works so well that every time someone asks me for the specs, I keep forgetting. Like seriously, creating this video, I have to go back and see what kind of build I ordered. Now here's the thing with not remembering the specs. It could literally mean 2 things. Either I don't have a good memory, or this computer just keeps you focused on creating rather than worrying about specs or needing to upgrade parts. I have to say, my laptops do change. I do try different laptops. This way I could indulge in some PC gaming, try some different operating systems, although I'm not really a fan of that these days. But to edit my videos and run my creative business, I go with macOS, Final Cut Pro, and my MacStudio. I bought this machine last year and I think I kind of went overboard just to edit videos, but I just wanted to make the investment and not think about a computer for a while. And now for the monitor. I'm using the LG UltraFine 32-inch 6K monitor, and it's been amazing as a single monitor setup. And the big win here is the combination of resolution and size. 6K and 32 inches is hard to find. I can comfortably run my timeline, browser, notes, and music and other stuff all without feeling cramped. What I also like is that how clean and focused it keeps the desk. One good display means fewer cables, less clutter, everything stays centered, and that feels good for long editing sessions, which I tend to get into quite often. And because it's a 6K panel, the text, the UI elements look super sharp, which makes the whole experience feel more premium. Like with a good monitor, you get more out of your computer as well. In a package, it's a premium creator monitor that also supports Thunderbolt 5. Now, this monitor is 60Hz. If you are hoping to do some fast-paced gaming on this monitor, it's probably not the best option for you. And the 60Hz has never been a problem for me because I don't really game on this display, like I said. And this monitor has so many other wins that I don't really worry about the refresh rate that much. Like, I'd rather have the 6K 32-inch really good color reproduction over having a monitor that's, let's say, 120 Hz but is missing a lot of those key features that I need. And right beside the monitor, I have the Sanyon SW206 monitor speakers. I've had these for over 2 years. I think it's time for an upgrade. If you have a monitor speaker system that you currently use and are happy with, please do let me know in the comments and I'll check it out myself. But these are a really good budget-friendly option. And now my projector setup. And this portion of the video is sponsored by BenQ. I recently added the BenQ TK705 STI to my setup. If you guys have been following my videos, I like to keep a projector around. And this projector right here has become my go-to for movie nights and casual gaming. It's a short throw 4K projector, and the short throw means the display itself could get bigger, like cinema style image, without needing to push it back all the way to the end of the room. In terms of specs, it hits that sweet spot for what I want for my living room projector setup. A sharp 4K image, enough brightness at 3000 ANSI lumens, this way I can use it before it's fully dark, HDR support for that extra pop in highlights, and gaming focused performance so it doesn't feel like I'm trading responsiveness for screen size. Honestly, short throw flexibility has been an amazing innovation for projectors. It can create a large image from much closer distance than a traditional projector. This way, you're not really designing an entire room around a projector placement. It's easier to keep everything tidy, avoid casting shadows, and keep the setup feeling intentional instead of a whole cinema system living in the middle of the living room. I also have the SD30 projector stand as well. This way your projector is secure with your positions locked in. But if your projector moves around, do not worry because we have a lot of smart image adaptation modes. This way you can calibrate and do all your display correction pretty quick and easy. And on the day-to-day side, it's just practical. It's also Google TV, which is an awesome operating system for TVs. When I want to switch from work mode to entertainment mode, I can go from my desk setup to my big screen without moving my furniture around or turning my space into a cable mess. I really like projectors, and I really have been enjoying the BenQ TK705 STI. If you want to learn more about this projector, visit the link in the description. And BenQ, thank you for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now let's talk about storage. This is the Ugreen Dh2300. It's basically my home storage server. All of my project files, camera footage, time machine backup is in one place instead of being scattered across drives or filling up my SSDs. The biggest win is keeping active projects organized and easy to find. And I do not keep clips from my older videos. I don't know, never felt the need to do that. But when I have different projects on the go, I do like to store my files here before I get into editing. It's also a really good backup safety net. I keep my automatic backup running in the background. This is Time Machine from my MacStudio. So if anything fails, I'm not sweating. And because it's on a network, it's super convenient. I can access my files from my laptop, my phone. Everything is there for me wherever I need it. This is a 2-bay option, but there's also a 4-bay option as well if you need that. I've been in search of the dream keyboard for a while now. The centerpiece of the setup right now is the Asus ROG Azoth. It's a 75% layout, so it saves a ton of desk space without losing those essential function keys. What I love the most is how clean it looks. The metal top gives it this premium industrial weight, and because it has ROG's Speed Nova wireless tech, you get zero latency without a single cable. But I don't really need this because all I do is edit photos and videos on this computer. But typing feels great. I love typing on this thing, and this is what it sounds like. If you're on the lookout for a new keyboard for a really good typing experience, I would highly recommend this one. Now on to a lighting accessory. I'm a big fan of lighting. I've tried some desk lights over the years, and I keep coming back to this style of screen light bars because it solves the exact problem without creating new ones. It lights up the desk surface, but this one actually lights up the room as well. The BenQ Screen Halo 2 has been pretty awesome to use. I think I've been using it for the past year. It has a wireless controller, which I don't remember the last time I charged. The Halo 2 also has a backlight as well, which kind of eliminates the need for a desk lamp. And I do miss having a lamp for aesthetics, but for function, this screen light bar covers it. In my older desk setup videos, I was always chasing that clean desk but still cozy look. And good lighting was honestly always the cheat code. Once you get a desk that is evenly lit, the whole setup just feels right. And monitor light bars are known to reduce eye strain, so there's that as well. Okay, so this is the part nobody really gets excited about until they live with it. I've shown charging setups in my past desk tour videos, and the goal has always been the same. One place where everything just gets charged. A station, if you will. This is the Anker Prime Station. It basically turns charging into a single intentional zone. It has 6 ports and it's 250 watts. And it's not a brand new product, so you can probably find it on sale. If you do find it at a special price, this is a good investment. And finally, my office chair. This is the Lenovo Omni Dynamic Chair. I've been using it for over a month now. I partnered with the brand on a previous video, but I've still been using the chair since that partnership has ended. It has been an amazing chair. The signature feature is the Omni Stretch. You press the massage button, and through the built-in battery, it massages your lower back for 5 minutes. And it does actually help release some of that tension off your lower back. Also, unlike all of my other chairs, this is not a mesh chair, but the material is extremely comfortable. I'd love to see how breathable it's gonna be during the summer season though. Also, the moss green color, which again, I typically go with safe colors, but aesthetically, the green really stood out in my space. Well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for being here and checking out my desk setup. I'm definitely gonna do a whole loft tour once everything is ready. And of course, in that video, we'll cover all the tech that is in this space. Thank you so much for watching. As always, it has been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next one.